Juan Soto is seriously going to make $500 million, $500 million. I know that sounds crazy to say out loud, but he's been playing that well to begin this season. Blake Snell, he's been kind of the opposite. He got a lot of money, and now he's been playing like absolute trash. Hopefully, he can turn it around. We have some terrible news and an update on Xander Bogaerts. The former New York Met, Andres Gimenez, he saved his new team, Cleveland, versus his former team, and Bryce Harper, he's back at it again with changing things up to try and end a little mini skid. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's recap. We recap every single game, every single day. We have not missed one, so join the team, support the channel. I think today's the day we reach 500,000. I kind of overestimated yesterday. Also, don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off your entire order, and my code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy gets new users a $250 bonus credit, and you'll be eligible for a Paul Skeen special where you can win up to $1,000. Now, unfortunately, we have to start the recap off with some awful news. Xander Bogaerts, he's going to be missing at least a month with a broken shoulder. I feel bad for San Diego fans, and obviously fans want him to have a speedy recovery, but now they're calling into question his overall contract. He's not even a shortstop anymore, but he's getting paid like one. He's hitting .219 with a 70 OPS plus. He's going to be 32 in October. You owe him $25.5 million until 2033 when he'll be 40 years old. Again, we all hope that Xander Bogaerts comes back fast and better than ever, but that contract is looking like one of the worst in baseball. Now, lucky for the Padres, they're still loaded as Luis Ariz just hit a 360 no-scope silent shot home run. If you know, you know. He hit it, spun, and then ran. Michael King, he's now allowed an MLB worst 12 home runs after allowing Jeimer Candelario to go off, which almost sounds impossible. 12 in the first few months of the season. David Peralta, he was activated in the absence of Xander Bogaerts. He dribbled one to India, and Profar beat out the throw. You just love the hustle because the infield was in and he still beat it. Fernando Tatis Jr., he found a hole for an RBI, and Tyler Wade, he cost Profar a 2-run double because Tyler Wade got backpicked, and then as you can see, Tatis, he flies home to score, but it would have been 2 on this Profar double. Again, Profar just will not stop producing. More runs for the Padres. Profar scores on a Jake Cronenworth single. Oh my, Brent Suter, watch your lips. Campusano smoked one, and luckily and thankfully, Brent dodged it and caught it. Tyler Wade was credited with an RBI single right here. Must have been a weird bounce at first base for Spencer Steer. Luis Ariz scores Tyler Wade on his third base hit. He actually had 4 hits today, but this game wasn't even close. We're just going to move on. We have a fake doubleheader to kickstart this one. So game number 1 was a continuation of the game from the day before. Lars, he got rung up, and then he got ejected after he was arguing all the way to the dugout. The St. Louis Cardinals, they had his back, though. Gorman, he sent one to deep center. Mullins actually got there, but it deflects off his glove. Nolan Gorman's RBI double was matched by Jorge Mateo's RBI double, so it's tied right before the rain delay. Both Kyle Bradish and Lance Lynn were very good, but they suspended the game, so obviously both guys are not going to be back out the next day. Keegan Aiken is out there for the Orioles, and Nolan Gorman ripped his second RBI extra base hit of the game over like 12, 14 hours. He went lefty-lefty for his 8th of the year. Ryan Helsley, he's been one of the most dominant arms in all of baseball for a while now. He gets Ryan O'Hearn on the slider, and then he gets Kowser to bounce into a double play. The Cardinals take game number 1, 3-1. So Helsley picked up his 15th save, and the Orioles, they were not cool with losing back-to-back games. They came out swinging. Henderson, he plays 1 on a single up the middle. O'Hearn, he grounded out for another, and Santander, he makes it 3-0. Lars, he's back in for the second game. He's able to find a hole, and he scores Mason Wynn in the 5th inning. St. Louis, they're going to steal back 3 runs on 1 swing, and they got a lot of help from Baltimore's defense. Brendan Donovan, yes, he rakes, but again, that was a Little League 3-run home run, and then that Little League home run was followed up by an actual home run. Mason Wynn hit a ball that was at his shoelaces. He's got 2 home runs now. We head to the 9th. Remember how I said Lars is back in the lineup? Thank goodness that he was, because he's a fantastic defender. Kyle Stowers, he 100% ties the game if that ball drops, but Lars, he catches it. He doubles off Cedric because Cedric thought it was over everyone. I'm not too familiar with Ryan Fernandez, but he eventually got Gunner for the final out and his first save of the season. The Cardinals have won 3 in a row. The Orioles have lost 3 in a row. You guys know anytime we talk about the Orioles, we got to go find the Yankees. The Yankees, they're trying to get some revenge for dropping back-to-back games. Every single run in this game was scored via the long ball. Now, before we show the home run, Anthony Volpe, he secures a 15-game hit streak, which is exactly what you need from a guy like Volpe. Just get on base for these dudes, because more often than not, this is going to happen. Judge, he sat on a slider. He skied one over the short porch for a 2-run home run. Aaron is number 1 in doubles and walks in the AL. Yes, even more walks than the walk king himself, who's been taking less walks because he's hitting more home runs. Juan Soto blasted off again. He pimped an opposite field home run. Do you know how strong you have to be to do that? Nestor, he appreciates all the runs. He used the S fuel to get some extra extra giddy up on the fastball and the cutter. He goes 5 scoreless with 6 punch outs. Soto, are you kidding me? It's one thing to have a multi-home run night, but going Oppo Taco twice, that's just not normal. He must have been hungry. Cal Raleigh, he made it a fun game at the least with a 3-run home run on 1 swing, which is cool. It's just that the Bronx Bombers, they were in town. Verdugo hit a baseball and then posed for a solid 4 or 5 seconds. He just watched it sail out the park. He's got 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, 6 defensive run saves. I feel like the Yankees have to bring back Verdugo as well. Same with Soto. But real quick, Soto, he's on pace for 41 home runs, a 180 WRC plus, and a near 10 F4 season. He's 25 years old, which was the same age as Bryce Harper when he became a free agent. Bryce only got $330 million. I say only in air quotes. But Soto, he already rejected $440 million from the Nationals. Don't forget that. He wants $500 million, and I think he's going to get it. $500 million. Now, we know Bryce Harper was on the Nationals, and speaking of the Nationals, they're not having a great time ever since they embarrassed Minnesota 12-1 in game number 1 of the series and forced Minnesota to have a team meeting. Washington lost by 10 in game number 2, and I'll just spoil it. They lost game number 3 as well. Kepler and Correa, they both hit solo home runs. By the way, Kepler has 16 extra base hits and 18 RBIs despite missing 18 games. One more huge play from Correa. If you're not watching, please look at this. Correa saved the game with one of the plays of the year. Why is it a play of the year? That's Jacob Young running, who is basically as fast as Trey Turner. So Carlos, he had 0 room for error, and he keeps it a 1-run game. Jeffers ends his 0 for 16 slump by bringing in Kepler for a big-time insurance run. And again, it's a big-time insurance run because Joey Meneses cranked one off of Johan Duran, who is now allowed a home run in 3 consecutive appearances. Then again, Joey hit a sinker 4 inches inside, so maybe it's just one of those tip your cap moments. Duran, he does get out of it. He has 4 saves, and the Twins, they're back to winning games. They've won 2 in a row. A 2-game win streak. Kansas City laughs at that. They had a 2-game win streak like 4 days ago. This series was a statement series, in my opinion. Kansas City asserted their dominance. They lifted their leg and marked their territory. Whatever you want to call it, it was impressive. Freddie Fermin and Garrett Hampson, they socked some of the more unlikely RBI doubles because they both came off of Tarek freaking Skubal. Skubal sinker was not that great today, and it showed on this next pitch. Nelson Velasquez, he's been fairly quiet to start this year, but all of a sudden he's got 4 home runs after that 3-run moonshot, and if he gets locked in, I mean, don't forget, he had 14 home runs in his final 133 at-bats last year. He's got power for days. Great. Cole Reagans, he's locked in. He started this game by striking out 7 of the first 10 guys he faced. He went the first 4 without allowing a base hit, and on pitch 78, he got Jake Rogers looking at 97 inside to end the 5th. That's his 9th strikeout. Then he struck out 2 more in the 6th. So at this point, it's 5 2/3 no-hit with 11 strikeouts, and then there it is. How could you ruin the no-hitter? Reagans was at 95 pitches, so it's not like he was going to go 9 innings anyways, but he does complete the 6-inning masterpiece with a career-high 12 strikeouts and 133 innings as a Royal. He has a 2.9 ERA and an 11.1 strikeouts per 9. He and Bobby are going to own this division for the next decade, considering he smoked it to center. Riley Green has a cannon. There was no bobble. Bobby's just that fast. Shout out to Freddie Fermin, by the way. He drove home 2 more for a 3 RBI day. He has 5 multi-hit games over the last week. Kansas City wins 8-3. That is their 6th win in a row. And Cleveland, they were going for 6 as well, and it didn't really look like it was going to be possible because Tristan allowed 2 solo home runs to Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil. Alonso's on an 8-game hitting streak, and we had a little bit of drama because Bader, he got hit by a pitch, and a lot of Mets fans were saying that was intentional because if you go back to when Bader was a Yankee. So yeah, he seized the ball well versus Tristan, but also, I don't know if that was payback or one of the most hanging meatball curveballs I've ever seen. Jose Quintana, he was making Cleveland look stupid through 5, and now he has to face Anders with 2 runners on. Anders, he struggles versus New York. I think he was 0 for 16 or 18. He's probably putting too much pressure on himself to show, whoa, he breaks the tie. I know I hinted at it in the intro, but he ties it on 1 swing. This got me fired up, and then I yelped again because he kissed Cleveland on his jersey. Andres is hitting .465 with runners in scoring position. It's still tied in the 7th, though. On-base god David Fry, he got himself into scoring position, and the kid did it. Jonathan Rodriguez, he saved his first big league hit for the right moment. He plates David Fry for the lead. Cleveland then added 2 more in the 8th. J-Ram knocked in Andres after Andres got hit by a pitch. J-Ram reclaims the MLB lead with his 45th RBI. Kyle Manzardo, yes sir, he has 4 doubles in his last 4 games, and check out Cade Smith in relief. He struck out 2 for his first career save, 3 straight fastballs to Pete Alonso. He could not touch it. The Guardians win their 6th in a row. They're now 33-17, which is the 3rd best in baseball behind the Yankees and the Phillies. The Phillies are on pace to win 116 games. That would tie Seattle for the most wins ever. Leote, he went yard, and by the way, he went way out, 437 feet. But after that, Marsh, he singled to cut it to a 2-1 game, and then his speed caused some chaos. He was picked off, but Dane Dunn Dunning threw it away, so Castellanos scores. JT Realmuto launched his 6th home run to steal the lead, and this guy right here has maybe been Philly's most important player over the last 2 weeks. Edmundo Sosa with the 3-run tater. Since Trey went down with the hamstring issue, Sosa has 5 extra base hits, 9 RBIs, and almost 970 OPS in 13 games. He's all but replaced Trey Turner. JT secured a big 3 RBI night with 2 more insurance runs, and what is going on? How is this even possible? Every single recap, Alec Boehm, he's getting base hits with runners in scoring position. He got a 2-run flare double. Everything is going right for that guy. He steals the MLB lead back for RBIs. I think he has 46. He also leads in doubles. Seager and Harper, they traded home runs, so that was fun. Seager went 401 feet the other way. Harper, he ditched the batting gloves because he started the game 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Then he goes yard without the gloves. He is by far the most superstitious hitter in all of baseball. The Phillies, they went huge over the defending champs. 2 men won this next game. 2. Well, technically 3 if you want to be nice and include the closer, Kyron Parrish. Sheesh, that is a hack right there for a 9-hitter who was blazing fast. He bat flipped and everything. That's his first big league home run. Tyler Anderson, he went out there and tossed 8 innings. He held the Astros in check for 1 run. Now, I called out Tyler Anderson over the offseason and all last year because he stole millions of dollars from the Angels. He was awful last year, but look at him. Luis Guillorme, he robs Jordan of a single, and Bregman, he lines out to end the 8th. So again, 8 innings, 1 run for Tyler Anderson. He wanted to go 9, but Luis Garcia, not the Luis Garcia that you're thinking about, the Angels have one as well. He secures his 3rd save. The Halos take 2 of 3 from the Astros, and they're trying not to be in last place anymore. If Oakland loses, they'll be back in last place. Elias Diaz, not a great start for Oakland. He socks a 2-run home run, and the Rockies take an early lead. Austin Gomber, he was fantastic again. It feels like every start the last month has been a quality start. And look at Tovar making a gem to save his pitcher from a base hit. He snags the Toro liner to help Austin Gomber set down 10 in a row, and it won't be 11. JJ Bleday says bombs away. He has 3 home runs and 5 doubles with the near 140 OPS plus versus lefties. Gomber scoffed at that swing. It really didn't mean much to him. He goes 8 innings for just the 3rd time in his career. He has a 1.6 ERA and a 190 opposing batting average over his last 6 starts. He's gone 6+ in 6 consecutive games. All that Jalen Beeks had to do was not implode like every other Rockies reliever. And come on, man, he ruins Austin Gomber's gem. Geloff, he was gassed up after tying it, and he's hoping that breaks him out of his season-long slump. We head to extras. McMahon, he likes the sound of extras because now he has another at-bat. This dude, he knew it instantly. He's hitting .310 with 9 home runs and 29 RBIs. The A's, they did scratch 1 across in the bottom half of that frame, but 4 runs proved to be too much. Oakland, they're back in last place. Jazz hit a home run in the 1st, and that's the game. All right, moving on. All right, all jokes aside, the pitching was so good in this game that Jazz's home run was the only run scored all game. He's on pace for 23 home runs and 29 stolen bases while kind of slumping, which is crazy. I want to show off the Lizard Man now. Jesus Luzardo blanked the Brewers over 8 innings of 3-hit baseball. Now, he was not his usual nasty self with 8+ strikeouts or something like that, but when you're missing barrels, it almost doesn't matter. He really settled in, and at one point, he set down 17 hitters in a row. He has a 1.4 ERA and a 1.6 FIP over his last 4 games. Tanner Scott, he got Yelly for a 6th save. The Marlins, they complete their 4th shutout of the year. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games. The Dodgers and the D-backs are facing off yet again, and Ketel Marte, he now has a 21-game hit streak. Nothing really came of that, but I did want to show that to you guys. Also, I got to show you this. Corbin Carroll, he made a sick grab to rob Mookie Betts. He had a fist full of seeds, and as soon as he made the grab, he started eating the seeds. That's kind of badass if you ask me. Ryan Nelson, he came in after Arizona used an opener. He was fantastic. He strikes out Andy Pies, then he gets Hayward to ground out. I think he went 5 shutout with 5 strikeouts in relief. Good for him. Tyler Glasnow allowed a couple to get on as well, but unlike Nelson, he could not work his way out of it. Corbin Carroll jolted a 2-run 3-bagger, so he has 11 RBIs over his last 15 starts, but over those same starts, he's hitting 188 with 2 caught stealing, no stolen bases, so he's not 100% out of his slump just yet. That ball gets away. Corbin, he scores easy, and Christian Walker, he might have to sign with the Dodgers when he's a free agent because he has 14 home runs in Dodger Stadium. Ketel Marte, he had some fun as well. He goes off the pole. He's officially in the double-digit home run club. Arizona, they shut out the Dodgers for the first time in years. They went easy. They outscored the Dodgers 13-3 over the final 2 games of the series. Would you look at this? We have back-to-back 92 ball games coming up. Atlanta, they beat the brakes off of Chicago, and although it took a few innings to really get going, Fried, he was dealing on the bump. He got Wisdom and Dansby to look pretty stupid on the curveballs at their knees. Right here is the first base runner for either team. It came in the 3rd inning with Michael Harris singling, and then there you go. Adam Duvall, he crushed a 2-run home home run. He hasn't been that great for the Braves so far, but neither is Kelnick, so I guess they're just going to stay a platoon. Max Fried kept on frying Cubs hitters just one after the other after the other. He did allow one on a ground ball in the 6th, but look who got those runs back and then some. Marcell Ozuna got an early Christmas gift on that slider directly down the middle. I mean, the only thing missing from that meatball was a plate of spaghetti. Marcell has 15 home runs and 46 RBIs. He has 49 home runs and 129 RBIs over his last 162. Matt Olson, he makes it back-to-back. He's slumping his way to 7 home runs and 26 RBIs. That's how good Matt Olson is. Now, we do have an MLB debut, and it was a good one. Peter Hodge of the Cubs, he was almost immaculate. He strikes out the side on 10 pitches. He was 1 ball away from an immaculate frame. That was the final highlight for Chicago. Max Fried goes the distance. He has his 5th or 6th career complete game. He strikes out 9 Cubs. I wish that Spencer Strider was in this rotation because Strider, Fried, Sale, that's disgusting. Toronto did something for the first time as a team this year, and wait till you hear about what they did. Biggio, he made a nice grab in right field. He robs Tommy Pham of 2 bases. Toronto, I think that they were fired up, and they teed off for 4 runs in the 2nd after Davis Schneider. He singled home 2. Dalton Varsho, he legged out a 2-run triple on a ball that was at his kneecaps. He golfed out another extra base hit. Vladdy Jr. will not stop hitting singles, but at least this year they're finding holes. That's another RBI. He'll take a 345 batting average and a near 425 on base over the last month, even if it means he only has 1 home run over that stretch. There it is. For the first time this season, a cleanup hitter has gone yard for the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette goes 415, and it's just kind of funny timing because yesterday was the first time I talked about the Jays not having a home run from their cleanup hitter, and then it happened. So who should I call out next? Bo had another RBI in the 4th, and 2 ended up scoring. The White Sox are just so bad. Chris Bassett, he struck out the side in the 7th, so he goes 7 shutty on 5 base hits allowed. That's a big bounce back because he lowers his ERA to 4.4. Nate Pearson struck out a few in the 9th, and Martin Maldonado, he's 7 for 79 this season, which is a 0.89 batting average. He has a 59 OPS plus since 2021. He is quite literally a free out. Boston did a fantastic job to rally the troops after they went down a few, and they sweep the Jays. I'm just going to spoil it right now. They popped off for a huge 5-run 5th inning. Cedar Rafaela, he's been an extra base machine over the last 2 weeks. Wait, hold on. This was just a single because the runners had to hold up. Willier, he loaded the bases up, and Connor Wong, he turned on one. He bangs one through the gap, and Rafaela's speed makes it a 2-run base hit. Tampa, they could not stop the bleeding. Ref Schneider and Dom Smith, they both contribute with RBI singles, and those two give Boston a 5-3 lead. Jarren Duran is a different animal now that he is lay kick Jarren Duran. His RBI double in the 6th extends their lead, and he has 69 extra base hits, 35 stolen bases, and a 121 OPS plus over his last 152. He's quite literally turning into Grady Sizemore. Willie Abreu, he's turning into one of the most underrated players in the American League. He's got 5 home runs, 7 stolen bases, and 2 outs above average and elite bat speed. This kid rakes. Here we go, the final game of the day. McCutchen, he got hit by a pitch for the game's first run. Blake Snell, he was then removed from the game. He walked 4 hitters, allowed 4 base hits, which is why the bases are juiced. And in the blink of an eye, Pittsburgh is up 5-0. Reynolds, he just hit a grand slam off the tallest pitcher in baseball history. And with Jared Jones on the bump, you can't really afford that. But, okay, hold up. Soler, he singles in Patrick Bailey. Matt Chapman, he then ran into one, so his 2-run blast cut it to a 5-3 game. He has a home run in back-to-back games. Now, San Francisco did make it a 1-run game after a Soler ground out in the 8th. And Pittsburgh, they blew it. Lamont Wade Jr. versus righties is just not fair. Lamont saves the Giants, and the Giants open the floodgates in the 10th. Not before McCutchen, he treated his bat like Thor's hammer. He just snapped it. Pittsburgh, they obviously were held scoreless in the 9th, and like I said, the Giants opened the floodgates. Patrick Bailey, RBI single. Jorge Soler, his 3rd RBI of the night. Wisely, a sac fly. And Luis Matos, he grabs another RBI. That's the final run for either team. Look at this throw to end it. Holy cannon. Joey Bart, he might have had a 2-run double if anyone else is playing third base, but that's why Matt Chapman has not just 1, but 2 platinum gloves. The Giants, they go on a 9-0 run to win it. That does it for today's recap. Thank you guys so much for your support, and enjoy the web gems.
And that's in the air, left field. Carter broke in, now going back, and he makes the catch.
First pitch, Buxton reaching a bit, and it's still deep, and Jesse Winker. Let's line it to left field, coming on, Nimmo diving, and he caught the ball.
3-1, grounded past the mound, past Canley. Volpe charges, bare hand throw, got him.
Jack, ground ball, stabbed, barehanded play by
Line drive to left field. They'll stay in the yard, but it's going to take a 1-hop off the wall. Marsh gets to it quickly. Here's his throw to third on 1 hop. He is out.
Third base side, Urshela.
I'm not showing everything. That fastball again or that.
That ball is stung by Kirilloff out to right center. Jacob